You know, because I didn't come into this world sitting cross-legged on a mountain saying I've arrived. You have to clean yourself out, not least through often harsh experience, to delete the programs that you've inherited through the body computer system or you picked up during your life. And so that's part of it as well. And I've reached the point now where the veil seems very thin to me. And the communication, the insights, the intuition have reached a new level. And what I'm writing this book, and I'm writing it really quickly actually. I did a tour of Europe, and I came back, and I started writing the next day, which was a week ago, literally a week ago yesterday. And I'm pretty much, I'm into the middle chapter, so by the time I finish that, I'm halfway through, because I think it's going to be about 8, maybe 9. And it's just pouring out of me. And the reason I'm doing it is because I'm looking at people now in ever larger numbers in the face of world events and in the face of this vibrational impact of what I call truth vibrations, which are definitely massively impacting on people.
The truth vibration, the truth, the truth, the truth vibration.
And I'm seeing a lot of large numbers of people all over the world who are just looking at the world and going, what's going on? What's going on? I don't like the way the world's going. And also there's this vibrational change that's going on is also, encouraging them more and more to ask the big questions. Who are we? Where are we? What is this reality? And so I'm writing this book to connect the dots across a range of subjects, because you have to see the picture, but doing it real simple, in as few words as possible. Lots of illustrations to back up the words, so that two senses can be communicated to. When you do what I do, you I would say between the devil and the deep blue sea, but when you're dealing with very different ways of viewing the world. People say, well, give me the evidence. And that's why some of these books are absolutely bloody massive. But there's also a point where you just say, look, this is how it is from my perspective after 2 decades and more of putting this information together. Make of it what you will. I'm not going to give you endless sources like this lot. And all stuff. I'm just going to lay out how I see it fits together, and it's. I'm very pleased with the way it's going, because when I write, I imagine on the other end is the kind of people I'm trying to communicate with, and so I'm imagining when I'm sitting here, I'm communicating to someone who's just asked the question, what's going on in the world, and has done no research or reading beyond that. And although there are many challenging things in it for people to encompass, they're not really challenging. That's the thing. They're not really challenging. It's an interesting point. They're challenging to mind. They're challenging to programmed mind.
What would you say is one of those typical, parts of the story which challenges most everyday people? Yeah, the fact that.
I've done a few, and I think I'm going to do an even bigger one in this one, the way it's going. But it's of course it's non-human entities manipulating human society. It's the fact the moon is not what we think it is. It's actually a gigantic.
Well, I loved that bit in your
spaceship stroke computer system.
That was thrilling. I loved it. I think it's so exciting to find out, because once you get that information, if disclosure's going to come. It doesn't come just on one day, and no spaceship lands on the White House lawn. Right. Yeah, it comes through making them discoveries first. And when I read that in your book, the Moon Matrix, and it blew me away. I thought, how's David got onto that? Well, it made me research myself a little bit about it. The 2 Russian scientists, wasn't it? They all mathematically worked it out first.
Well, they came out in 1970. 2 scientists from the
Soviet
Academy of Sciences, and said that. And actually, I've just got this book, which is from way back in the 1980s. I got it about 2 days ago.
Oh.
Someone Else Is in Our Moon, right? Is on our moon. Now, there are things on the moon which can't be explained as natural effects, but I'm saying they're in the moon, not on it. Mm-hmm. Well, they're primarily in the moon, not on it. And it was interesting because the way the sequence goes with me is I'll get an insight. Like I sat down one day when I was writing my last book, in this chair actually, right here, and I'm just about to start work, and the atmosphere in the room changed. And I recognised that.
Did it go live?
There was a change in it. It was like a presence arrived,
Yeah.
and I know the feeling. I've had it enough times. And then I'm sitting here, and what went through my mind was a very clear line: the moon's not what you think it is, or worse to that effect. And I'm thinking, the world's not what the moon's not what I think it is. Now, most people would go, oh, well, but because I've been through the process so many times, I thought, okay,
Listen to your
let's
intuition.
go with that. And I put a few things in NetFind where I can find it now.
And it was that one
It's
that
here
came
somewhere,
up,
yeah,
the two Russian fellas?
This is the one. This came up immediately. Who Built the Moon? By with glasses, Christopher Knight and Alan Butler.
Two English fellas?
Yeah, and so I read that very quickly, and it was all about the fact that a moon must be a construct of some kind,
The math supports it, and also the experiences of astronauts going over there and didn't want them to drop something. They discharged one of the payloads or whatever, and the moon kicked off like a bell.
Yeah.
That's in your book.
Yeah, they did it a couple of times. The second time much more powerful, and the moon rang like a bell, or rang like a gong.
Now, when you tell people that, they think you're just making it up.
I know they do.
It's so exact.
This is an interesting point for what we were talking about earlier. When you come into the world, you accept the way it is. So you come into the world, and hey, cool, it's the full moon tonight, Johnny, and all this stuff, and it goes through its cycle, and you just go through your life. It's the moon, and then when you start asking questions about the moon, that's when you go, whoa,
Wow, it's incredible.
I didn't know that.